very funny picture. It'll be out shortly. There's also several other films.
And to this end, and you asked the question, well, how can wrestling not be personality-oriented? It is that kind of sport.
Yeah, but what I was trying to find out was, is it going to be like have ratings in it?
It'll have ratings.
Yes.
And, you know, I mean, is it going to be your standard wrestling type magazine, or is it going to be something out of the norm?
It'll be standard to the point where you look for it. It'll be out of the norm in the point that you will be surprised continually.
Because, see, I've never heard of a magazine that, what you said earlier, and I think in our previous interview, that it would have like personalities like Cyndi Lauper and other.
There'll be personal interviews with people like Danny
DeVito and those
DeVito.
But at ringside,
Okay.
Giving
In other
their
words,
opinions on
yes,
their opinions
everything
on
is oriented towards wrestling. No, I didn't mean that it's going to be outside the framework of
in the
wrestling.
wrestling
I
game.
misunderstood you then.
But it was it's within the, you should excuse the pun, or at least 2/3 of a pun, PU, within the wrestling arena.
Yeah.
An
When will this
example,
come out now?
and a great wrestling fan, Vinny Pacianza from up here in Providence.
The boxer, the lightweight
He may
champion.
be sitting at ringside commentating on
Okay, I
his
see.
opinion of wrestling. Mike Tyson, who's a personal friend, may be telling us,
Or us.
Sugar Ray Leonard, or you fellas, telling us about professional wrestling and their opinion of a match.
Mark Gastineau.
Mark Gastineau, there you
It is always going to be oriented toward wrestling.
Larry
Like-
Bird, a personal friend of mine. Larry, Bobby Orr. I know Bobby Orr when he started in. I called him in the Madison Hotel. I said, hey, kid, come here. Guy said, you can't call him kid. That's Bobby Orr. Since that time, I said, Bobby, I'm sorry. I didn't realize who you were. He looked like a little young kid to me. I followed, and Bobby Orr's been a legend in his own time. And these are people like that will give their opinion of professional wrestling.
And we mentioned personality before. Let's shoot out a few names to see what your
Before you
reaction.
do that, you just asked me when it would be out.
When would the magazine be out?
Bert told you either the last week of March or the first week in April.
Of '88.
It'll be out on the newsstands then
Yes,
that you can
sir.
go down and buy one.
All around every newsstand in
and
America.
you're supporting not only American-made products, but MS. So remember that.
Right.
Okay, let's
Sounds like a very
shoot
good
out a
cause.
few names now.
In fact, some of your fans may write in to you.
Okay.
We may decide for certain select fans who win a contest or so forth that we will donate a magazine or two to these fans
Okay.
for your most prestigious show.
That's great. Thank you very much, Lou.
We'd like that, and I'm sure they would too.
Now go ahead, ask me about the wrestling.
Okay, I'll shoot out a few names. Chief J. Strongbow.
A great wrestler in his day, a legend, originator of the real, I would believe it, of the war dance, and a now working for Capital Wrestling Titan Sports as an agent.
Spiros Arion.
Spiros Arion of Greek heritage, moving to Australia, coming out of the country of Australia. A very competent wrestler. Basically, wrestling dates back to the Greco-Roman days.
Now, wasn't there some rumor though that he had stolen some money from the WWF?
Never. That's a fallacy. People start rumors all over the
That
country.
he was given some money by Vince McMahon.
I heard a rumor you were handsome.
That's, you see, Spiros Arion, all I can say about him, he was an upright, clean, decent, wonderful wrestler. Any rumors that were started by people with that have devious minds and half-wits, and there are always rumors come up and they're not true. Spiros was a great man, a great wrestler, retired now, living in Perth.
Perth. Is that?
Do you list?
What country is that? It's in Australia.
Australia, Perth.
What about,
don't say Perth in this direction.
What do you think of Rick Martel? I noticed you had a match with him.
Rick
in the
Martel,
video.
I've got to respect as a legend. In my best day, I could never beat a wrestler like Rick Martel. I feel Rick Martel has the ability, has the speed. He's a good-looking young athlete. He has the stamina. He's a world champion now, along with a good friend of mine. Pardon me for the fuffing and coughing. Tito Santana and Rick Martel. I have nothing but respect for him. He was an AWA world champion.
Right.
He's now a tag team champion. He's a legend.
We have 2 minutes left. Let's talk. Okay, we're days away from a wrestling event, Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan. Who do you think is going to win?
That's going to be a tough one. Andre did give a very accountable account for himself in the last encounter. I'm going to go with Hulk Hogan, but as I said, Andre is always a threat, especially since he's been hanging around with the devious half with Bobby Heenan, who I believe has warped and demented his mind and brought him to the fact that he'll do anything to win a match. Basically, Andre was a good, upright guy when I handled him. As of now, hanging around with Bobby Heenan, who I dislike, I believe that he's influenced Andre, and it's going to be a tough one, but I'll go with Hogan.
Okay, Macho Man Savage or Honky Tonk Man?
I like the Macho Man. I always felt that he had the wrestling capabilities, the agility, the power, the speed to go behind, the intestinal fortitude. I felt he had it all together. He was a knowledgeable wrestler, and he has that beautiful Elizabeth cheering him on in the corner. I'm going with the Honky Tonk Man.
You agree, Brett?
With Elizabeth, I'd go anywhere. What am I doing here?
There you go.
Okay, the Strike Force or the Heart Foundation?
I'd have to stay with the Strike Force Heart Foundation. I believe great wrestlers. They're very competent wrestlers, but they don't have the speed or agility of the Strike Force. I'm going to go with Strike Force, which is Tito and Martel.
Okay, there you have it. Bert Sugar and Lou Albano. We're going to wrap it up now, Paul. Any last words?
Well, I'd just like to thank them for coming on again to our show, and I hope they
Thanks
can make
very
it
much.
back for another segment.
It's been a great honor for us being
Thank
here
you
with you,
very
Paul,
much.
and with you. And
Thank you.
anytime you want us back, it's a pleasure, and we love being here because
Thank you, Lou.
And we enjoyed being here to show off the new cover for the first time. That's yours to show.
Well,
Thank you very much.